She comes across like diamonds, diamonds, easy in love when the lights are low. She comes into focus, focus, the closer she gets, the more I know. She takes more whiskey than I wine.
It's such a bright sunny day out there that the sun shining on the wall is brighter than the light shining on me. Well, it's going to be what it's going to be. I'm here. It's a little chilly. I think it's because I fell asleep while editing the last video, which will end up going up after this one, but that is what it is. I have here a curiosity. It is Peat's Beast, and what a beast it is. Look at this. It's got two legs, and it's made of kegs and barrels, and it has a, does it have a head, sort of? I'm not sure. Yeah, it's got like teeth and things, and I don't know, this is just weirdness. Peat's Beast. Now I'm going to read everything that it says on this tube. I got this at the 2021 Premium Spirits release from BC Liquor Stores back on, I believe, the 11th of November. Is that right? 2021. There is the bottle with the beast on it. Is that a... Yeah, that's a mean looking thing. Don't know what to make of that. Okay, well, we don't need this anymore. I think I'm going to open it and pour a dram, and then I'm going to read what it says on the tube and on the bottle. See if I can get this little C-shaped thing open. Now this is one of those non-age statement whiskeys. It's also a non-distillery statement, unless I look at it some more and try and figure out where it's from. There's one clue, and I'll tell you about that momentarily. It says here, okay, Peat's Beast Limited, Hereford, United Kingdom. Peat's Beast isn't for the faint-hearted, full-bodied, rich and intense. The single malt whiskey is monstrously peaty, yet seriously flavorsome. To tame the beast, we recommend a dash of water. peatsbeast.co.uk. Intensely peated single malt Scotch whiskey, unchilled, filtered as it should be. Ferociously full-bodied single malt whiskey packed with a big bite of untamed peatiness. 46% alcohol by volume. Now, that doesn't tell you much, does it? That's all there is on there. However, on here, intensely peated single malt Scotch, product of Scotland, ferociously bottled, full-bodied, blah blah blah, ha ha ha. And on the back here, tasting notes from Richard Patterson. Richard Patterson. He's White and Mackay. White and Mackay, Dalmore. So I'm going to put this, I'm going to file it under Highland. Yep, I'm going to file it under Highland if it's got Richard Patterson in here. And I'm going to read that after I try it myself. It's 46% alcohol by volume. Right away, I'm getting some peat. It's not that peaty. I'm getting some sherry cask maturation right away. If it's not a maturation, it's a finish. I'm getting some peat and sherry cask. Yeah, Patterson may have had something to do with this. So I'd put it in the Highland rather than Isla, rather than Lowland, rather than Speyside. There's some peat, yes, but there's some sherry cask influence here too. I'm getting a lot of dark fruits. And yes, I'm getting some peat. I'm getting some smoky peatiness. But there is sherry involved. I don't know if it's Oloroso or Pedro Jimenez or Paulo Cortado, or if it's Amontillado. But there is some sherry influence here too. Probably more than the peat. Well, let's see now. Huh. Yeah, it's very peated now on the palate. Wow. Very peated. I don't know if it's an Isla peat or it's a Highland peat or what kind of peat it is, but I'm getting peat now. And still, there is that heavy dark fruit element coming from sherry casks. Interestingly enough, the peat doesn't dominate on the nose. But on the palate it does. And it's quite nicely blended with the ex-sherry casks. Or is it wine cask? Interestingly. The peat is it's not an Isla peat, it's a mainland peat. It's got it doesn't have any of that iodine-y kind of thing that you'd get out of a Lafroig, for an example, or an Ardbeg. It's more earthy. More earthy, yeah. More earthy and less medicinal, definitely. For example, when I nose it, I don't get any citrus at all. That's probably because of the casks that they used to age this thing. Definitely sherry cask. Well, let's see what did it cost here. Getting to this part. It says here Peat's Beast, heavily peated, $99.99. So that would be $15 goods and services tax, and $5 goods and services tax, $10 BC liquor tax, 10-cent bottle deposit, plus $99.99, grand total of $115.09 out the door. Would be $115.10 out the door because we don't use pennies anymore. Yeah, interesting. So I guess I'll mark that one as tried. Yeah. It's Peat's Beast. Okay. I'm going to have to taste that again. So mostly what I'm getting is mainland peat and reasonably high ABV and sherry cask. Sherry cask would make sense. That would be right in line with White and Mackay and our friends at Dalmore. Interesting. There's a nice balance between the peat and the sherry. I'm going to try adding some water to it and seeing what I'm getting. I hope I didn't drown it, because for some reason I was using a soup spoon rather than a teaspoon. I don't know how that ended up here. Oh, interesting. That seems to clean it up a little bit, and it has really improved the finish. The finish is long and peated. And sherry too. It is a perfect balance between the sherry cask maturation, if indeed it's sherry cask maturation. Excuse me. This is not very transparent. Not very transparent. It doesn't say what casks. It doesn't even say what distillery it's from. But I'm guessing it's got something to do with Highland and White and Mackay and or Dalmore. Now, over here it says taste. Down here it says nose. Nose says a rugged fusion of sea spray, bonfire smoke, Damp earth and spicy cinnamon immediately arouses the senses. These powerful aromas of peat moss and wet grass must be fully respected before seductive notes of crushed pear, apple, and freshly baked bread provide the perfect finish to this memorable melody. Huh. I got about half of that. Taste: strong and bold, with plenty of backbone and structure as this great monster unfolds its fiery fangs on your palate. This is not for the faint-hearted. Take a generous mouthful with a biting wind blowing furiously in your face. Hold it long in your mouth. Allow the thick tar, peat smoke, and creamy licorice to penetrate every part of your tongue. Time will tame it. Color: straw yellow with glittering highlights. Well, Richard Patterson's a poet, isn't he? He's a poet. He gets more out of it than I do. Yeah, you know, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Grassy? I don't get the grassy part. I get the tar. I get the peat. I get some moss, yeah. And I get a lot of sherry influence. I didn't get much of the sea spray. Bonfire, somewhat. But yeah, it'll do in a pinch. I would like to. It's probably Dalmore. I'm guessing it's a peated Dalmore. Just because of Richard Patterson's involvement. It'll work on a rainy day. But here and now we got sun. Well, here's to another week of tasting whiskey. Slancheva.
Food Quig.
Food quick.
Food quick.
Food Quig.
Food quick.
Yeah.